Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. So today I kind of just wanted to go over the recent, market price action and kind of again really dial into one sector of crypto, which we do talk about here on the channel quite often, but one that I think that you really could see the massive gains in the next bull cycle, and one that I'm really bullish on myself. And again, we'll just kind of highlight a couple of topics. Too many to really highlight them all in one individual video, but stay tuned. We'll kind of go over a couple projects that I'm looking at in that particular sector. But right now, we can see if we look at, CoinMarketCap here, look at the markets, the 7-day charts. Obviously, we're seeing so much green across the markets as Bitcoin's kind of going over that 35K mark, which we haven't seen in quite a while, especially if we pull up, Bitcoin's chart here, we can see, again, look at that 7-day. I mean, we're looking at Bitcoin price action that we really, I don't remember the last time we saw Bitcoin, kind of jump from 28 all the way up to 35 just like that. If we're looking at the 1 year chart, even, about a year ago now, around this time actually, Bitcoin was at, around that 16, 15K, if we remember. And, some people were calling the bottom then. Now, I don't know if that was the bottom, if we're going to go lower, if we're going to see higher. I personally am on the stance that we kind of do start to hover a little bit more towards 40K Bitcoin. And then from there, I think we retract or we retrace a little bit. I don't think, again, this is just my personal opinion. None of this is ever financial advice, but I'm not of the opinion that we're on a straight shot to 100K, 150K Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to see the beginning of the bull run right now. I just think it's a quick pump, but I also do not think we're going to see sub 20K Bitcoin either. So I guess one could say that was the bottom. But either way, that's just what Bitcoin's doing right now. Now, one sector that I'm looking at specifically is crypto gaming. Again, I think that out of all the sectors, and there's too many to study every individual one, but just one that I kind of niche down into is crypto gaming, because I think that obviously there's a lot of utility here, and it's one that is super undervalued currently. So if we look here at crypto gaming, and we can see, and we'll come back up here. I mean, if you look at the numbers, everything on the 1 hour, 24 hour, 7-day chart, everything is just seeing their, such big runs recently in this last week. And that's kind of a good indicator of, what projects are going to make it for the next bull run, what isn't. So if we go all the way back to the top, obviously you have the top ones like Immutable X, Render, even Axie Infinity, Sandbox, Decentraland. Those have kind of been some of the bigger ones in crypto gaming that we've obviously have seen over the last couple of years. Gala Games, we look at Gala Games, a 7-day, still up 12%. And this is even accounting for a little bit of a dip that's also happened since our initial price rises across the board. So this is with kind of a pullback on most of these projects also. Still up though, again, Gala Games, we've talked about that they do have their lawsuit that's kind of going on, but that seems to have kind of gotten brushed under the mat or the rug for now. So, and that goes to show that in a true crypto gaming or just a true bull run, most logic unfortunately goes out the window. I mean, it's not unfortunate for us, the investors, because, again, projects just go up and their valuations go way overvalued, in my opinion. But again, people from last, cycle who remember, hey, Gala Games was really good, they were a good top player, who vanished for the bear market, if they're returning now, with the hopes of maybe this being a bull run or the start of one, they're going to remember projects like Gala Games, how they were, one of the leaders in the last cycle, but they're not even, because they weren't around, in the trenches, they're not even realizing that there was a lawsuit going on. So that's why they don't care. They don't even know that's even happening. They just know that Gala Games, hey, they're around. That's my go-to guys right there, because we saw their market cap go over, an increase of over $100 million in market cap alone with their run that they had. So again, pretty impressive. That's Gala Games, a project with a lawsuit going on. Granted, the product of Gala Games is still great in my opinion. Obviously, they have their whole ecosystems that's getting fledged out. They do build quality games in my opinion. They really do. I mean, there's no denying that. Vulcan Forge, this one has been tearing it up. And again, it's one that we've talked about on this channel multiple times. If you've been following along here, we're looking at Vulcan Forge. And I always like to look at market cap, even though, yes, the price has been going insane. Looking at its market cap, it was around 80, 90 million. Now it's 123 million. That's actually crazy. The fact that, again, we were sub $3. That's when we were kind of accumulating. And then it almost touched $5, been retracing, keeps going up, goes down, goes up. Now we're on the road back to $5 Vulcan Forge, and again, we really accumulated under $3. That's some of the price targets that we were looking at here on this channel. So good to see that Vulcan Forge is doing well. Another one that I have high potential on, Ronin, probably going to do well. Games building on Ronin, that blockchain. If you don't remember, Ronin was the chain that Axie Infinity or Axie Infinity's chain back in the last cycle or towards the end of it. Merit Circle, another good project. And most of these we've made videos on here on the channel. You can find them in my videos, or we haven't yet, and we will. Echelon Prime, the Referral, it's a card trading game. A lot of players there, and I think that another one's going to do very well. Wild World, probably one of the best metaverses that we've looked at in the space. And again, another one we made a video on, but they're probably going to do very well, and they are doing well. Again, you're noticing these projects are doing extremely well on the 7-day, and again, this is still after all of them have had kind of a retrace. One specifically, we look at Nakamoto Games, Naka. It's one that I've had my eyes on for really the majority of this year. I've just been waiting for it to kind of dip down in price again, but it never looks like it's going to. And we're looking at a project that at the beginning of the year, about a year ago, it started under 5 million, and now it's at 72 million. So, I mean, it's crazy the run that Naka has had. And every time it goes up and it pulls back a little bit, it just jumps up again in price. So, I mean, Nakamoto Games, I mean, you love to see it. It's a great indicator of what, again, we can expect with Naka's price movement in the bear market. I think they're going to do exceedingly well in the bull, especially with everything that they have going on. Another project that we really have to make an individual video on that I've been meaning to, but Naka. And the point here is, look at the projects that are getting the love, that are getting the liquidity, entering back in their ecosystem now, because it's probably a good indicator. The projects that are, getting the money flowing into them now during this initial kind of price surge is a pretty good indicator of what's gonna make it, for the next bull run. What you can expect is, the money is gonna, kind of flow into. That's what I'm looking at personally. That's how I'm looking at most of these projects. Veracity, another one that is very good. With their Vera views, verifying views that we that's a real problem, a real world problem that Veracity can solve, which is another reason why I think that Veracity is one of the better businesses in all of Web3 and crypto, and one that I think is going to do very well. We've talked about them before. I think Veracity is going to do very well. They're on my list for sure. Gods Unchained, great game on the card trading platform. Great game. I don't know if it's one that I'd be looking at accumulating. I think Gods Unchained might fall under that kind of stigma of a last cycle coin. I don't know if it's, again, one that I, individually would be looking at, but I love the game. I love the product. I think there's no denying that, and the player base is still there. Great game. I just think there's better returns to be found elsewhere. Ultra, again, also getting liquidity with their game launcher, over 150 games partnered with Ultra. Cetify Fund, this one's huge, in my opinion. Super undervalued, and it has been for the last, 2 years, Cetify Fund, because it's one of those projects just like most launch pads. When nothing's happening and it's a bear market, no one's launching anything, of course they're going to dip. Nobody really wants a token. But in a bull run, you're going to see Cetify, I believe, again, not financial advice, but I believe you're going to see Cetify do crazy numbers because everyone's going to want to be getting their hands on the Cetify token. Especially, again, I'm on the side of thinking that this next bull run is going to be like nothing we've ever seen before. We're talking about the potential of institutional money, real money, not just guys like you and I getting into, Web3 and crypto. I mean, we're going to see evaluations go completely off the walls. Any predictions you might have for some of your favorite projects, if they're quality and they're getting the money now, make your own prediction. It's probably going to be higher than that. And that's my opinion. Just my opinion. Star Atlas, great game. They've been building for several years that we know now. And I think once that game fully gets fleshed out and, and people play it and get into it during the bull market and they can see that, I think people will notice that, especially when you look at, the 7-day. Up 52% on the 7-day. They're getting, the liquidity going back into them. I think they're going to be good. GFAL, Games for a Living, we recently made a video on them. I think that's the one that I definitely want to keep looking at. Myria, another project that we always talk about here on the channel. If we're talking about the next potential, quote-unquote gala games, I think Myria it gets pretty hard to beat, Miria here. They launched back, I believe, earlier in April. Obviously they launched at you know, in the bear market, and then also they had their node emissions. We kind of saw this thing take a beating, but now, now it's kind of getting a lot of life back in it. Again, that's 7 day. We went from, about $5 million market cap all the way up to 32. And I think this thing even touched, I want to say like a 40, close to like a 40K market, or $40 million market cap. So pretty insane, especially when you're looking at a project that you could have got under 5 million. Again, I think the bottom was in for Miria. I don't think we're going to see those prices again. I hope we do, just for re-entries, but I don't think we will because it is a quality project. Altura, the smart NFTs, and what they're doing with the Unity platform, I think that another one that's going to do great. Big Time, I have big hopes for Big Time. See what I did? I have hopes for them, but I do want to kind of see that price go down quite a bit since it's a more recent or newer launch token. And again, guys, these are just my opinion on some of these. Let me know in the comments below if there's any certain projects here that you want me to do more of a deep dive on, or ones that you're bullish on that I'm not covering here or pointing out. Again, this isn't really, I don't do this too often of just going, through the list here and kind of pointing out ones that I really like. Essential Games, I like what they're building inside the metaverse there. I like what they're building. Step App, I think we talked about them in the past, but again, not one that I'm looking at really at all. Really, if we're looking at a move to earn, even though there are much more than that, Amino move or Amino rewards. Again, another, the video, I think right actually before this one, if you're looking at a project like that, DeFi Kingdoms, Jewel, I hear that they're getting a resurgence and that they've kind of built out or fixed some of the problems that they had, but I don't know. I'm not really that bullish on DeFi Kingdoms, Jewel. I think, again, last cycle token. Decimated. Decimated is definitely a quality game that I would be looking at for sure. Now, as far as accumulating, again, I would really, this is going to be on my watch list for sure as we get closer to a full, hey, we're in a bull market. That's confirmed. This is definitely one that I have my eyes on for sure, especially when you're looking at something that it went under $1 million market cap, and now it's just getting so much attention, as it should. Decimated is a quality project. We've done a video on them. They're quality, so I believe so. We're just going to go to the end of the page. Senate. Oh my god. Citus Heroes. The Senate and the Citus tokens have been getting so much love recently. And again, between the two, again, we've talked about it. Senate is what I would be looking at, and what I do actually accumulate is because it's more of the governance token and not so much the inflationary token, like the Citus token. Between the two, that's just my opinion. I would go Senate over Citus. But if we're looking at their market cap, they also got, I think there was a point where Senate got beneath $1 million market cap. Yeah, they got beneath $1 million. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And they're building, their ecosystem is insane with their multiple games that they have, and they all look so quality. Yeah, I think Senate is definitely something that's going to do super well in the next bull cycle. That's for sure. If you look at the 1 month, where they gone up? Yeah, over 300%. Senate or Citus Heroes, such a quality project that is going to do very great. Fate in Arena. I remember playing that game. It's still a fun game, but yeah, I think Fate in Arena is done. So we'll leave it there. But anyways, I just want to kind of go on here, go through the first page of the crypto gaming sector, kind of give you my quick thoughts, some projects I want to point out that maybe are ones I'm looking at, maybe ones that I'm not looking at. And again, just like with the top 10 coins of just crypto in general, the top 10 here in crypto gaming are great, but again, I think the gains you're really going to find on those lower sub 100 million, sub $50 million market cap projects within crypto gaming. Again, though, when you get that low, the risk does obviously climb, as it will with anything. But again, it's really just up to you if the risk to reward is really, worth it to you, if you have high conviction inside projects. But let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about some of these things. Let me know what you're looking at, what you're not looking at. Did you agree with some of my picks? Did you disagree? Let me know. Let's talk about it. And if you guys can like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right. See you guys.